Hello artists, today we're going to learn how to make a really cool optical illusion. Here's my example. We're going to start by drawing it this week, and then next week we'll add the color to give it its really cool three-dimensional effect. Over the last few weeks we've been talking about lines. A line is a point that moves. So basically it's a dot, a spot that keeps going. It can go straight, it can go zigzag, it can go loop-de-loop, as long as it starts with a point and it moves. For today's project, we're going to need a sheet. Really, you need a half sheet of white paper. It can be computer paper, it can be some of the nice heavy drawing paper. If you picked up an art kit at the beginning of the year, there were some half sheets of the heavy drawing paper. That would be ideal. But for today, I'm going to use this piece of computer paper. So simply fold it in half and then cut it so you have half of a sheet. Alright, so now that we have half of a sheet of any kind of white paper, really, the next thing you're going to need, you'll need a pencil and a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, you can use anything that's a straight edge. So I have here a file folder. You can use just a straight edge of a file folder or a heavy piece of cardboard. If you have just a book laying around, you can use the flat edge of a book for this assignment as well. So anything that's kind of a hard edge that you can get a straight line from. Alright, I'm going to use a ruler because it's just a little bit easier. So basically we're going to make a big X for the first step. We're going to start with this corner and we're going to go to this corner. So make sure your ruler is right next to this line, the corner. You should be able to still see the corner, but just barely. Alright, so once you have it lined up there, now we need to line up this bottom part down here. So I'm going to take the end of my ruler and make sure it lines up perfectly right there. So let me turn it sideways. Maybe we can see it a little bit better. Oh, there we go. All right, line it there. Line it there. Okay, so when we're using a ruler, we always hold the ruler in the middle, and we don't want our fingers to go on top because then when we start drawing, our fingers will get in the way. So instead, we want to put our hand down a little bit lower in the middle. If we hold it on the edge, then when we start going down, it's going to move the ruler, and we want it to stay in its place. Alright, so line it up, holding it tight in the middle of the ruler, touching your pencil to the top of the ruler. You're going to draw a line all the way across. And the lighter you draw, the less your ruler is going to bobble around. Alright, so now we see the line goes from one corner all the way to the other corner. Now we're going to do the same thing, connecting this corner to make a big giant X. So I'm going to line up my ruler on this side, kind of hold that there, and then I'm going to look over here and see if I can get it perfectly lined up, or at least close to it. Doesn't have to be absolute perfect. Hold it in the middle of your ruler. Start by touching your pencil to the top. Hold kind of tight with your hand without your pencil, and you're going to draw your second line. Alright, so now we have a big X. Now we're going to draw a line. This will be the middle, right? So we're going to put our ruler up to the middle. Try to make it kind of even with the bottom and top of the page so it's horizontal. I'm going to hold my ruler really tight in the middle. Start at the top of the ruler, go all the way across. There's our horizontal line. And now one more line we're going to draw vertical. It helps if you turn your paper. It helps me. I like to have my ruler horizontal, but it's easier to see the paper. So we'll do it this way just for the camera angle. Alright, so this is vertical. Our line is up and down. We're going to hold it tight in the middle, start at the top, touching the end of the ruler, going all the way down. So all of our lines kind of converge in one spot. Alright, so that's step one. Step two, we're going to do every other triangle. So not every one, but every other triangle is going to be let's start with a smile face. So it goes almost like a U. So we draw a U there, and then give it like a finger's width of space. So we're going to start right here and make another U. All right, about another finger width, so it's gonna start right here. Another space. If you really want to be technical, I'm doing about 1 inch apart. And then about a finger space. I might do just a little tiny mark right there. It's not going to be big enough to go all the way across. So I fit well, if you count the tiny mark, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So really 4.5. Now we're going to skip this section and go to the next one because it's every other one. And we're going to try and space them out similarly. Big smile face. And then about a finger length down, another smile face. Another smile face. Smiling faces. Okay, almost done. All right, so got some more there. Now we're going to skip the next one and do more, keeping them about the same distance apart. And there. Last one, same thing. Drawing our happy little lines. Okay, so I have 4 sections with smile faces. Now I'm going to add the frowny faces. So on the ones that we skipped, instead of making smiles, we're going to go upside down and make it kind of like a frown face, or you could think of it more like a rainbow maybe. So I want to kind of start here where this line ends, and I'm going to go up and then down to where the other line is. Ooh, that did not turn out good. Hold on. Hold the phone. Let's try that again. It's a little better. Not sure what's going on there. Something's not right. You know what? I should have another one here. That's what's wrong. Problem solving. All right, let's try that again. There we go. Frowny faces. This makes way more sense. Okay, I figured it out. All right, now another frowny face. Or let's call them rainbows. It's just happier. Smiley faces and rainbows. All right, so we have one going rainbow, one going smiles. Now we're going to do another rainbow. You could also think of it as an upside down U. Try and meet up the ends if you can, best as you can. Whoa, that's kind of a weird section. Let's try that again. And one more there. Okay, 2 more sections and then we're done with art for today. So we're creating an optical illusion that makes it kind of look like the objects we're drawing are 3-dimensional. And all we're doing is using different kind of curved lines. It's kind of a neat effect. There's all different kinds of optical illusions. If you look up YouTube tutorials on how to draw optical illusions, there's some really cool ones. They're a little bit more complicated than this one, but they're really fun to do. All right, so just in time for Halloween. It looks a little bit like a spider web, but this is our optical illusion start. Just the lines. Next week, I should say, we're going to add the color. We're going to be doing color values. So it's going to be lights and darks. For next week, you're going to want to have markers, at least 2 colors of markers, and the same color crayons. So if you have a black marker, then you're going to need a black crayon. So here's what it's going to look like next week. So I have black with black, and then blues, and then purples, and I left one section white. And if you wanted to leave, like instead of doing this blue one, I could have done that one white as well. So you really need at least 2 or 3, 1 marker and 1 crayon that match. If you don't have crayons, you can also use color pencils. So make sure you save this picture for next week so you don't have to draw it again. And thank you all for watching, and please submit your assignment after you have completed it. Look forward to seeing what you all make.